Once again, good evening, all of you. Welcome back to the third day of our 3-day national workshop on systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis. Over the last 2 days, we have explored the foundations of literature review. What exactly is the literature review? What is the purpose of the literature review? How we can do the literature review in a systematic way, the systematic approach of doing the literature review, and the extraction of data from established databases like Scopus and Web of Science, merging the data set from different databases using R, then bibliometric analysis with the help of RStudio. That much we have explored during the last 2 days. So thank you for your nice participation. You're all very attentive. That's why we were able to complete this much area within 2 days' time. We used to take this as 2 to 3 days offline workshops in 12 to 15 hours duration. But within the last 3.5, 4 hours, we have completed this much. Today, we are moving on to the next part, the important dimensions of today's presentation that will complete the cycle, and thereby, to some extent, we are trying to answer or satisfy the objectives you have set at the time of starting our workshop. So today we have 3 parts. One is visualizing the bibliometric relationship using VOS Viewer. And the second one is understanding how to present the literature review in your thesis, both thematically as well as methodologically. And the third part is a general introduction or a general orientation towards the preparation of a review article. That is the structure of today's presentation. Before moving on to today's presentation, a quick review of what we have learned yesterday regarding extraction of data from Web of Science and merging the data using RStudios here. So start polling now. The first question, the first review question is, which of the following file format is commonly exported from Web of Science for bibliometric analysis using RStudio? So it's time for the review. Which file format is commonly exported? Yeah, 2 participants are saying that it is plain text. 5 participants are saying that it is plain text. So we have RIS format, we have CSV format, or that CSV stands for the Excel itself, and the BibTeX format and plain text format. Which format is usually used for downloading data set from Web of Science for the bibliometric analysis using RStudio is the question. And all the participants are saying that it is plain text. Now it is 20 participants, they have polled it as plain text itself. Yeah, very good. Nice. All of them are saying that it is plain text. So you are that confident about the plain text, no? So normally we used to download the RIS format just to store it in the reference manager, the Mendeley and all. For that, we are using the RIS format. And we will convert the files downloaded from Web of Science and Scopus using BiblioShiny app to CSV format for merging purpose. And from Scopus, we are downloading it in BibTeX format. And as you said, it is 10% correct. From Web of Science, we are downloading it in plain text itself. Nice, nice, nice. Congratulations, all of you. It is an evidence that you are all attending the session very seriously. Thank you. We are closing this poll now and we are proceeding to the next poll now. The second question for you for evaluation is, which of the following are essential packages for bibliometric analysis in RStudio? So when we open the RStudio, we need certain packages to be installed there. And we have to check those packages to run this RStudio. So what are those packages? Yeah, you are saying that Biplot is there, XLX is there, Bibliometrics is there. So we have mentioned about 5 packages last day. And those 5 packages, including Biplot, Bibliometrics, Bibliometrics data, XLSX. So you are that confident about those packages also. Very nice. You're all attending the session very seriously. Thank you. Very good. Congratulations, all of you. And now we are proceeding to the third day's presentation. As I said, today's presentation is divided into 3 parts. The first part is bibliometric analysis using WOS Viewer. Actually, WOS Viewer is a data visualizing software. So visualizing the bibliometric relationship using WOS Viewer is the first session. In this session, we will try to understand how to create and interpret the co-authorship maps, the keyword co-occurrence networks, and the co-citation clusters and all. I have a very serious researcher with me. My research scholar, Father Sanu Francis, is with me. So over to Father Sanu for this presentation, the data visualization using WOSphere. Yeah, welcome, Father Sanu.
Hi. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Buju sir, for this wonderful introduction. And thank you, organizers, for having invited us to have a sharing on bibliometrics, especially in the view of presenting the literature. Okay. So basically, what I'm trying to do here is to have a glance about what is bibliometrics. Then we will proceed to WOS Viewer. So let me share the screen first of all. As we all know, bibliographic analysis or bibliometrics considers the author's research areas, the citation network, and the paper content, among other things. Like we have learned about how to extract a data set from a repository, from the Bob's Hands and from Scopus. We know how to extract the data set. And you know, what is this data set? We have the very minimal of the essential things concerning the research work presented in a very systematic manner, may it be in APA style or MLA style or whatever style. We have got the bibliographic information, such as the title, the names of the authors, the keywords suggested by the authors, and the abstract. And these all field, they constitute actually this bibliographic details or bibliographic data. And we are working on this bibliographic data to identify the research areas, the network, especially the citation network, and to some extent, the content, the themes which are developing from these papers. Okay, so we ought to have this idea in our mind. We have got the very minimal of things at our hand concerning a research topic. Maybe any research topic, any research theme. You go just type in your keywords in Web of Science or in Scopus or any other repositories like Dimensions or whatever. You type in, you get a data set. And to extract it, you ought to know which format you have to take the data. So I have got this special distinction for preparing a data set for a particular journal or a particular thesis. We will come to know about it later. And on the go, I will explain how we can extract the data set, how we can constitute the data set according to our need taste. Okay, so bibliometric analysis is scientific computer-assisted review, a methodology that can identify core research or authors as well as their relationship by covering all the publications related to a given topic or field. My topic is behavioral economics, and some of you would have taken artificial intelligence, or some of you sustainable finance, and some of you sustainable goals. And there are people with a lot of topics in the interested fields. So, however, we type in a particular keyword, we are sure that the computer will generate a data set for us. Because this repository consists of almost all the areas. See, I have taken this, what I'm going to share, this artificial intelligence, social science. These are the two keywords I have used for Web of Science. And just before this presentation only, I have extracted these 214 documents. And you can see from these documents what are the areas they are concerning. So articles, review articles, early access articles. There are a lot of things. So yesterday you would have known how to export them. I have exported in plain text format, all details, full records, site and reference, everything. Then I have exported it. Okay. Now I'm not going to into it because I have already sent you this particular data set via email. You can have a WhatsApp. I have posted in the WhatsApp and you can download it. We will discuss things about this particular data set. So if you want to have any topic, you can select from topic, or if you want this particular keyword specifically to a particular title, means if that keyword comes in the title only, it will be evident here. So if you want a particular author, you can select from these fields that you would have known yesterday. And you can have this and or not buttons that also you would have known about it earlier. So I am not going to much into that discussion, but rather we will stick on to what was here. So it is a computer-assisted review methodology. So you can identify your core research or authors as well as their relationship, and covering all the publications. Almost all the publications would be there in Scopus. You can be very assured that you will have a little more publications in Scopus because Web of Science considered to be very top class repository. Okay, then basically have this particular idea about bibliographic coupling and cross-citation, because all the citation networking resides in these two concepts, bibliographic coupling and cross-citation. Bibliographic coupling and cross-citation happens when the work of a particular author is cited and when you are including the work of an earlier work in your bibliography. So this is how research progresses. Suppose bibliographic coupling, I would say it is more of a backward thinking, and cross-citation is a forward thing. Means to say, in bibliographic coupling, see this CDEF, these documents have been included in A and B. A and B are citing CDEF. So somehow, based on CDEF, A and B are bibliographically coupled. Okay, here, the right side, for citation, it's a forward thing. FEDC, they are citing A and B. A and B are cited, co-cited in terms of the research work that is happening in the future. So it is like a backward thing and a forward thing. But mine, these are two things. These are one thing, citation from two angles. And you will ask me, what is its difference? What is the peculiarity of this difference? Because when you analyze a particular topic, you can have different interpretation based on this. You see in the cross-citation networking and bibliographic coupling. Okay, this is other cross-citation. This is just an image, a document cross-citation based on the documents. And interestingly, in VOSViewer and in Bibliometric and Biblioshiny also, you can, when you do document cross-citation or document bibliographic coupling and all, you can have a click on this particular document, go to directly the source. Okay, so I'm going to end this presentation here, and we will go to this VOSViewer. You would have downloaded VOSViewer, I suppose. Excuse me. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, Father, you are
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Videos. Okay, we will go straight away to the topic. So this is the VOSViewer icon, desktop icon. So you click onto it, you have got this page. VOSViewer page. Okay. In the extreme left side, you have got three things: file, items, analysis. And in file, you have got these tabs: create, open, manual, about VOSViewer. These two are for your information, and these two are for working. File, you can create a map for a particular bibliographic data set you have already downloaded. Or you can open the already created VOSViewer file. Okay, if you have created a file based on VOSViewer, you can open it here. You can create a new one here. Most often, we take create option for working. In the body side, you have network visualization, overlay visualization, density visualization. We will learn about it later. Then on the right side, extreme right side, you have got visualization. You can customize your visualization. You can customize the various label used, the font, the density, the color density, everything you can you can have a good edit about the visualization options. So you can colorfully present your picture. You can colorfully rearrange your the network picture. You can play with it. Okay. So this is basically the VOSViewer page. So we are going to create. All right. Create. When you click create, you've got three options. The options will come like create a map based on network data, create a map based on bibliographic data, create a map based on text data. Since we are downloading a data set from Web of Science, usually we are downloading it in the format of text, plain text format. Okay. Suppose you are downloading a data set from Scopus, be mindful that you are downloading it in CSV format. CSV format. In dimensions also, CSV format. But in latest version, I have known that I have identified that this in dimensions, network co-occurrence of keywords is not so much working. But in Scopus and Web of Science, you can be assured that all the analysis will work very perfectly. Create a map based on network data, or you can create a map based on bibliographic data. This bibliographic data, this is basically for the merged data set you have created. If you have already created a data set merging a corpus data and a Web of Science data, you can have a map based on bibliographic data for that particular data set. I suppose you have learned about merging the data sets. So if you have got a merged data set, you have to go for create a map based on bibliographic data. Okay. Otherwise, you can take create a map based on network data. Then you click next. Here, yeah, say create. When you click create, network, bibliographic data. We are clicking on bibliographic data. Actually. So we have got first Web of Science, and from Web of Science and Scopus, we are getting bibliographic data. Network data, I have made a mistake. Network data would be like Pajak. If you have created data set based on some other networks, like Pajak and some other options are there. So if you have created a data set based on that, you have to have a first option for your analysis. But this one, what we are doing and concentrating is for the bibliographic data. Bibliographic data means this for Scopus, Web of Science, and even the merged data set you have created. Okay. Then you have got three options again. Here they will ask you very directly from where you have created this bibliographic data. So have you downloaded from any open sources like APIs, or have you done it from any bibliographic database sources like Web of Science, Corpus, or anything? Or are you having some RIS files or EndNotes or RefWorks? If you've got an EndNote dataset, a dataset you have created from EndNote application, you can upload it here. But since we have taken our data set from Web of Science, we are clicking on to the second option. So read data from bibliographic data. So next, here they will have these 5 repositories set datasets. Like if you are clicking on to Web of Science, if you have a dataset from Web of Science, you have to mark this here. Then if you have a dataset from Scopus, you have to mark it here. If you have a dataset from Dimensions, you have to click it here. So Lens and PubMed also. PubMed also text format. So Web of Science, you can click, and you can click onto these 3 dots at the end of this particular window where it is written browse. Click onto it, and when you're clicking, it takes you to a file browser there where you have downloaded it. You have got data sets. I've downloaded it. So, AI social science. How you can use AI in social science. So this is the data set. Are you following me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I do have a doubt regarding that selection of Web of Science, because if the file is merged one, still then we will be actually using this Web of Science option, right?
This data set.
Say, for example, if you are actually merging 2 data sets, right? From one from Web of Science and the other from Scopus. And if you're merging it, and then we are actually selecting the one option that is Web of Science, then it will function. Will it function then?
See, actually, this network data would be right option for that. Okay. You can take Web of Science here. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is it. So when you are clicking onto this Web of Science data, then you have got the uploaded file. Click next. Then you have got type of analysis. These are the 5 main analysis that comes under bibliometrics. Co-authorship. Who are the authors who have collaborated? Okay, so who are the authors? They are co-cited, or who are the authors? They have come together in a particular area. Who are the authors working in a specific theme? Co-occurrence. Co-occurrence means based on this. When you click on this particular analysis, you have to have a look at this unit of analysis. Based on the authors, co-authorship is analyzed. Based on the organization, co-authorship can be analyzed. Based on the country of their origin, co-authorship can be analyzed. Each one has got different interpretations. Be mindful of it. Then, co-occurrence. How the keywords occur together. How this is all based on, see, we have based our analysis on the basis of how often they are addressed, how often they are represented, and how closely they are coming together based on association. Your co-occurrence network, you have got all keywords, unit of analysis, other keywords, other specific keywords, and keywords plus. You know what is keywords plus? Keywords plus is automatically computer generated keywords. Okay, so when you are addressing a particular when this computer is reading the abstract and title and everything of a particular source, particular article, this computer automatically generates based on the similarities, creates a repository of keywords, and we are playing on to keywords plus in that regard. We usually look on this others keywords. Then we have got citation. Based on the citation, citations can be based on documents, how much citations have been given to a particular document, and how a particular source is cited, and how a author is cited, and how organizations are cited, and how countries are cited. Bibliographic coupling means if you want to know about your topic, how this has been relevant for quite many years. Like based on the documents, you can have analysis. Based on the sources, the journal sources, based on the authors, you can have a analysis based on the organizations. And co-citation means how this has evolved over time. This is retrospective and this is prospective. How a particular theme has evolved based on cited references, based on cited sources, based on cited authors. Okay. So full counting and fractional counting. When you count exactly one represents one, the number of times a particular document is represented. In absolute terms, it is called full counting. Fractional counting, in terms of the number of prominence, means how often a particular keyword is coming, how often a particular author is coming. The author or the keyword would be given a weightage. So based on that counting, that is, the analysis can be different, but we always prefer absolute counting, full counting. Okay. And thesaurus, it's like you can upload any words, any particular words or particular authors. You can already, if you want to delete or if you want to include, this same thing is always is also there in Web of Science. Biblioshine. Here, we take one by one. Co-authorship. Co-authorship. We have got unit of analysis, organizations, countries. Co-authorship. Based on co-authorship, authors can be analyzed. Click next. See here, ignore documents with a large number of authors. Maximum number of authors per document, 25 is set. Default it is set, let it be. Click on next. Minimum number of documents of an author. You can stipulate how many authors, how many number of authors a particular document should have. And how many documents a particular author should have. Because if he has got one, at least to his credit, he can be included. Or if you are so particular about the author having 2 articles, you can correct it here. If you are so insisting on an author having 3 articles, you can correct it here. So I am stipulating it 2 because I have got 28 authors can be included here. One author has got total how many? 759 authors are there. But if I restrict, an author should have at least 2 documents. The 28 authors would be only coming in the network. So in that way, if you are pulling it down, the number of network dots would be down. If you are pulling it up, it will be very less. But if you are pulling it down, it will be very good. So I need only 28. So I'm restricting 2. So minimum number of citations of an author. You can here mention how many citations a particular author should have. Minimum I'm restricting, an author should have 5 citations. Out of this 22, all they have got 5 citations. But if I am stipulating it to 10, only 21 will meet the threshold. So I want most cited authors. So I am restricting it to 21. Here, next, then finish. Some of the 21 items in the network are not connected to each other. The largest set of connected items consists of 10 items. We wish to show this item instead of all. Yes. See, you have got 2 clusters, cluster 1, cluster 2. Basically, what does it mean? Clustering means based on the keywords, based on the details we have uploaded, the computer is suggesting us these 5 authors, they are in a particular area or they are in a particular stand regarding this particular theme. If you want to know what they are telling, you have to go to that particular author, the source, that will come to, that we'll look at later. Suppose this is also the important thing in most viewer. If you want to have a next analysis, you have to go again, create, next, co-authorship. I clicked it here. See, citations of another. I pulled it to 28. 4. Some of the 28 items in the network are not connected to each other. The largest set of connected items consists of 9 items. Do you want to show this set of items instead of all items? No. You have got a network visualization. It will be bigger. Okay. Here you take items. This gives you, that was only for the 9 items. You remember? That was only for the most likely or most commonly connected items. But this will rather give you clusters very specifically. These many others are working in a particular area. This many others would be working in a particular area. And these many others would be working in a particular area. So this you can be very sure based on this network analysis. Okay. You can zoom in here, zoom out here. Again, you are going for create, bibliographic data, next. This is very interesting. You want to have, instead of authors, organizations, even countries. See here, this country USA has got co-authorship with many other countries. But take the case of what is India? India is in the gang of cluster 4. So most cited authors, at least having 4 citations, they are in this particular other nationalities: Canada, Hungary, India, and Taiwan. Why do we do this? Because we can know how much the country is contributing in collaboration with other countries. That is the only possible output you can get from here. But the most interesting thing would be the next one, what you are going to learn, that is co-occurrence network. This would definitely help you for your thematic development. Okay. Here I am taking the second type of analysis, co-occurrence. I can take all keywords or all other specific keywords. What are the other suggested keywords? All keywords means in that particular abstract or in whatever, the computer will read all the keywords, but here the other specific keywords. Keywords plus means based on the permutations, based on the similarities, the computer generated keywords. So we stick on to other keywords. Okay. If you want the occurrence of a particular keyword to be 5, you have got only 15 nodes in the network. But if you are increasing it, it will go down again. But if you are decreasing it, if you want a particular keyword to come at least 3 tries, particular keyword to come at least 3 times in the entire data set, you have got 36 keywords, 36 themes. Each keyword is a theme that we know, because it specifically takes a particular area open to research. So I am restricting it to 287 would come into threshold. Okay, let it be. So I am taking next, finish. Likewise, all the keywords would come. This is a beautiful picture. And we have to have an interpretation on this particular thing. See, take again, just nearby this file, you have got items. Just have a glance about these clusters, these particular themes. Themes regarding algorithms, artificial intelligence, autonomy, bias, collaboration, complexity, imaginaries, intelligence agents. In cluster 2, we have got bibliometric analysis, site space, literature review, machine learning, systematic literature review. Most viewer even has come as a keyword. In cluster 3, you have got causal interferences, data models, economics, predictive models, social surveys, research. In 4, you have got things regarding data science, deep learning, modeling, pandemic, simulation. Cluster 5 has got autonomous system, ethics, governance, regulations. When I read along these clusters, at least you have in your mind a particular theme coming up in a particular cluster. That is very important. If you have sufficient reading about a particular keyword or data set you have created based on that, this cluster will help you to have a thematic structure in your mind. I can see just half an hour before only I have taken this particular data set. I know a little bit about artificial intelligence. When I can make a conclusion about this thematic structure, if you are well versed in your area, how much would it help you? That's very interesting. Here, artificial intelligence, autonomy, embedded ethics, fairness. This intelligence things, how it affects society has been mentioned here. See how this has affected the literature thing has been clustered here into, and how this has been used in predictability or computational modeling or surveys and social sciences has been discussed in the cluster 3, and how it has been in deep learning, modeling, and simulation. very particular and technical thing about that artificial intelligence has been built here. In cluster 5, very basics of ethics and very basics of regulations and government interventions has been discussed here. So you have got the themes developed from a particular data set. This is a very interesting thing in OSVR. Most often you can have a picture integrated in your literature review for your research, and I have I will show you. I have created this particular thematic structure for my behavioral economics. This I am going to include in my literature review. The interpretation I will tell you. See the largest node, artificial intelligence. If you want to identify the gap, if you want to know whether a particular cluster has been studied or not, explored or not, of course, this artificial intelligence is a keyword. It connects everything. But within this, it will have this artificial intelligence in social science has not gone into some areas. These areas wherein you can see cluster 6, cluster 7 items. So here, the nodes are connecting very less. Take, for example, autonomous vehicle. Autonomous vehicle. How artificial intelligence has been studied in terms of autonomous vehicles. Studies in autonomous vehicles, the use of studies of artificial intelligence in autonomous vehicles, the bibliometric things has been connected, but not much node has been, no much studies has been explored. See, the vehicle area or the big data take, for example, big data. Big data has identified bibliometrics, digital transformation, Internet of Things, everything has been studied. But you can still see big data has not been explored in large language models or in finance technology or in natural language processes. This has not been explored. So the rest all areas remain gray. And these are all the areas mainly the studies has happened. So the rest of the areas give you a gap for your scientific exploration. This is basically the simplistic of all the interpretations. But the thickness of a particular concept reveals that how relevant it is in the literature. You can take any a small particular smart city. Okay, smart city, urban areas. It is connected with urban areas, buildings, and artificial intelligence study there. But what about urban areas or smart cities in connection with the robotics or AI in ethics or in bias studies? How they are not connected to this computational social science. So this area remains unexplored. So this is basically based on the connections you can identify this particular topic is related to whichever topics nearby, but it can also show you which are the topics unexplored. Okay, we want to have a next create bibliometric data dimensions. The next one is, so you can have a check about all keywords and keywords plus. Now we will go to citation. More than citation, I'd be interested in bibliographic coupling. Citations you will see. Okay. Unit of analysis. Based on documents, how citations can be analyzed. Based on sources, how citations can be analyzed. Based on authors, how citations can be analyzed. We will look upon how citations can be analyzed based on documents. How many citations a particular document should have? You can stipulate it here. I need 5 or 6 or 10 or 8 or 9. 10. I'm taking 10. So the largest set consists of 4 items. I don't want that particular, but I want all 75. From this, at least I can understand all would remain independent. So this is the citation. How much citation a particular article has got, a particular document has got, could be evident from here. But here you see, this is the interesting thing. I told you, if you want to have this particular document to be fetched, you can click onto that particular document. It will take you to the site. I have included all the open source documents here only, so you can very well read that particular article. Okay, I've included only open source articles. So here you can have what are the documents which has got more citations. Here you can have a look about what are the authors we have got. What are the authors? Who are the authors who have got more citations? Okay. But we take bibliographic coupling. That is very interesting. Okay, bibliographic can have documents. Click on the documents. Maximum number of citations per document. Stipulate it here. 5 or 10 or 10 would be good. I want all the items, all 75. See, here the cluster. Cluster number 1 have got 10 documents. See, I told you bibliographic coupling is a backward thing. So, based on which are all the documents have cited, the articles came after it. Which are the articles cited? Cited them. Which are the suppose an author has cited 2 sources in his reference. Those 2 would constitute this particular network, bibliographically coupled. Those 2 would come as one. They would come in a network. That is the understanding. So it goes backward. Here, if a particular cluster has got very prominence, means that these are the documents. In each cluster, these articles would be dealing about a particular topic. You can be very sure. Here, in cluster number 1, these 10 documents would be talking about a particular topic. Then this cluster 2, 9 items would be talking about a particular group. Then cluster 3, 8 items would be talking about a particular theme. See, these documents, they talk about a particular concept. That is the understanding behind. If my article is cited in 2 sources, so that comes in co-citation, not in bibliographic coupling. but mine and some others articles are cited, some others. So myself and that author would be bibliographically coupled. That is the understanding. So it is a good source to understand how a particular theme has been developed in a particular cluster. Here also, if you're clicking onto a single author document, it will go to the source. That net. Overlay visualization, density visualization is how much you can identify. By the thickness of these documents, you can understand these are the main documents in your area. How social science has been explored in intelligence with the help of artificial intelligence has been studied by these four main articles because they hold the clusters. Okay. Create. Next. Yeah, co-citing. Cited sources or cited authors. You'll select cited authors, cited sources. Cited sources. We know what is a source. We can know about the prominent sources here. Technological forecast. These are abbreviations. If you want to have item-based list, you can click on this particular. These are the various sources. So these are the sources. So if you want to explore a particular cluster which has got the prominence, network visualization, it gives you fair understanding about. See, from at least this graph you can know Arbix, technological forecast, scientometrics, international information management, computer. These are the various journals which have got in a particular area they are exploring there. This cluster would be exploring a particular theme. This cluster would be exploring a particular theme. But this particular source, journal source, has got connection with almost all the other sources. So if you want your document or if you want your article to be published also, you can identify from here what are the prominent journals or sources. So basically, these are the main things involved in most viewer. If you've got any doubt, you can ask me. These are the main analysis.
Sir, I do have a doubt.
Hmm.
By setting the minimum number of citations, say to be 10 or to 9, aren't we in a manner excluding the other documents? So won't that affect the process of clustering?
Definitely, it will affect the process of clustering. Yes, if you are particular about that, that's what I told you. If you want to stipulate your citation score to be 5 or 4 or 2 or 1, it is up to you. Because here, as with all other network analysis tools, whatever you wish and whatever you want, you can give, and the computer will tell you based on your liking, the data is right or not. The data is supporting your choice, the data is supporting or not supporting your choice, the analysis will tell you. Because you can have different combinations. If you want to present your thematic structure, thematic mapping, according to your taste, you can be very well be sure about what are all the sources you have to include in your data set. From there onwards, you can start. That's what I've told you. See, when you take a particular source, here instead of taking randomly a particular keyword and going for this, I am typing artificial intelligence, or I have identified my very important article, say artificial intelligence in marketing. If I have understood this, as if I have taken this as my major paper, I will go to the references. If I want a bibliography coupling, I will include all of this. I will include all these. I will include all this and add to my marked list. I can have a marked list. Okay. So I'm going through again these 14 documents, and I have liked this particular article. So again, I am going to the references. I am adding all these references. I'm adding to them to the marked list. Okay. But this does not have a marked list. So basically, when I have finished my mark list here, my mark list would be empty. I can select all these 7 documents only, or if I am selecting 198 references, I am adding them all 198. My mark list. I've added. Okay, I have read this particular article and I have liked it, so I'm adding these references. Okay. Mark list. So now I am checking out my mark list. Shows my mark list to be 83. So I am taking all these 8 documents. These 83 documents would be very particularly about my own area. So I can export from here in plain text format. It will ask you, I can export and do the most viewer there. And it will give you exactly what you need to explore from your particular area. So I would tell you, if you want to write your systematic literature review paper, you can go for random checking of your keywords. But if you are interested in writing your thesis, you better go for 10 or 20 of your major papers and collect all the references and add them in your marked list, create a particular data set for you, and explore your data in OSPO. You can very well create a thematic structure. So there you can be very particular about how much citation should a document have or should an author have. You can be very selective. Any other question?
Although just one clarification, I think you've already mentioned it, but if you can slightly clarify the difference between cause-citation network and bibliographic coupling, and also how the interpretation would differ between between cause-citation and bibliographic coupling. How
Bibliographic.
if you can clarify.
I told you, if you want to explore how a particular theme has been developed, bibliographic coupling would be very helpful. But co-citation, it's a forward thing where you will not have, see the unit of analysis here, documents you have, sources you have, authors you have, organizations you have, or countries you have. Because these documents have been studied in a particular area and they are bibliographically coupled. It's easy for us also to know. But co-citation, you have got only cited references. You have got only cited sources. You have got only cited authors. Because that shows a forward thing. Means in co-citation, you can't have a particular document to cite your thesis or your article in the future. But based on the citations happened, you can have a collab. Like these are the references cited commonly. These are the sources cited commonly. Understand? So this is basically for a bibliographic coupling is basically for developing a particular theme, or you can understand how this theme has been evolved. In co-citation, you can have how this theme is going in what direction. Both are same but different angles.
So then, how would the interpretation be differing?
How the interpretation? See, in bibliographic coupling, take for example co-citation. Citations. the cited reference, actually, bibliographic coupling. In bibliographic coupling, you are placing a particular document in a network based on how many articles have placed this particular thing in their bibliography. Okay, so in that sense, it is a forward thing. You can analyze how this theme or how this topic has been evolved from author's point of view. But here you see minimum number of citations of a cited reference. A cited reference based on the citation score of or a particular reference or a cited document or a cited author, only you can identify the growth or I would say not growth, the density of the theme or the prominence of that particular reference. That's the difference. That bibliographic coupling will show you an evolution, but here co-citation shows you how much concentrated your references, how much concentrated your authors in a particular theme. Understand? Very soon.
Okay, Father.
Hello, sir. I'm actually asking the same question once again. So,
Yes.
for example, one set of data that is being taken from Scopus and the other from Web of Science, right? So we'll be actually merging it together, right? And then
Yeah.
after merging it, I mean, which option would we be selecting in the file option?
Actually,
Select
I
file.
have tried. I have tried it here to do it in the way, because actually you have asked a good question. In plain text, Web of Science gives you the data set. In XLSS format, Scopus gives you the data set. And when you are combining them together, you get the output XLSX, right? And
Okay,
here,
sir.
in here, when you create, usually you do go for bibliographic data. And I have succeeded in one point wherein I have to do some technical things that you will get to know from the YouTube videos. Here, see, data from bibliographic data files. You have to click here. You ought to create this text format filing or Scopus in the way this most viewer would support. You understand? So that is a different kind of an added thing that has been done. That I'm right now I'm not going to discuss about this. For the merge data, that's what you have to convert it to a particular format. That then it will come under actually this network data. This network data. Understand?
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Father Sanu. Thank you for your presentation. Now we are proceeding to the next area, because today we have to finish two more objectives. One is how to present your literature review results in your thesis, because some of the participants are research scholars. They are interested to know how to prepare the review of literature chapter. And the other category is here for the purpose of getting an assistance or a kind of motivation regarding writing the review article also. So we have to think about the reporting aspect now. So now we have learned about the identification of the major themes with the help of VoiceViewer. Father explained it very clearly how we can form different clusters with the help of VoiceViewer. And in a particular cluster, almost all the papers are very much related. So that will help you to write your review actually. That is the purpose of doing this kind of analysis. And in what way each keyword is connected with the other keywords, that will get displayed in the OS viewer. And that connection will automatically gives you an idea about the development of a particular theme into other areas, how the research is being developed into other areas. So first we are presenting for the research scholars how to write your literature review chapter. So it is my humble suggestion that you have to write your literature review chapter in 2 parts, if possible in 3 parts. The first part is the thematic review area. The second part should be the methodological review area. And the third part, of course, should be the bibliometric analysis of the key terms of your area. And thereby you can find out the exact research gap genuinely. So there you can place your study in an exact way. So that is the purpose of this kind of an exercise, the systematic literature review. So we are proceeding into the first part, that is the thematic literature review. What exactly is the thematic literature review? See, thematic literature review is organizing and discussing the literature by theme. Last week I got a thesis for adjudication. And in that particular thesis, the student from Karnataka, she elaborated the entire literature based on themes. So she is claiming that it is a thematic presentation. And when I read the entire thesis, I find that actually the themes have been identified. But the problem is, under each heading, she just arranged the entire works there as it is. So that is not the way in which you are supposed to present the thematic literature. So you have to identify the themes. So you organize and discuss the literature based on that theme. And it will allow the reader to see how much literature you have identified regarding each and every issue or each and every theme. So here what we are doing, we are actually grouping thematically, and that will help determining the areas suffering from lack of literature. There the thematic literature gap can be identified. So it highlights the outstanding gaps. It demonstrates the need for opportunities for extending the previous literature, and it helps the reader to gain a better understanding or a broader overview of the related literature. So you are supposed to present the entire literature in a thematic way. Earlier, there was a practice that writing the chapter called theoretical overview. What the previous researchers were doing, even in our period also, we were also done in that way only, no? So we used to write the theoretical overview chapter. In that theoretical overview chapter, we are just writing something regarding the theory as that of a textbook. No, a researcher is not supposed to do that. Researcher should actually supposed to present the evolution of this particular theme based on the related literature. And regarding or related with that literature only, he is supposed to explain the growth of that particular theme. Through the literature, he is supposed to explain all these things. That is why you need to group the literature thematically. Now, Father already explained that how the OS viewer will help you to identify different clusters. When you go through each and every cluster, those papers have some connections. And that will help you to identify different themes and sub-themes coming under those areas. That will help you to write those things. So here we are categorizing the bibliography at an early stage into groups based on particular issues. That is what is called as themes. And you may look at a topic either by discipline or by epistemology, in the case of history, or in the case of language-based studies, the epistemology will also be considered. or a theoretical approach based on different theories like agency theory, stakeholder theory and all. You can explain the things, or argument by methodology. Also, you can arrange the themes based on methodology. Also, you can arrange. So you may also look at a topic by issue or by level. In that way, you have to decide in what way you are supposed to present your literature. That is thematic arrangement. So in the thematic literature review, we are focusing on a specific topic and we compile the research that has been published on that particular topic by different scholars or different experts, and it provides a background for our problem, or it puts the problem into historical perspective, because with the help of literature only we are explaining how this problem is being evolved, when this problem was first discussed in the history of the literature, and how that problem is being debated further, what is the present situation. In that way, with the help of the literature, we are presenting that it informs the reader about the current concepts and the state of research on the topic and controversies in that particular topic, and it organizes the citations thematically into a detailed narrative. So you are supposed to write not actually the traditional presentation. You are supposed to write the development of the entire concept based on the literature. That is what is expected from the thematic literature review presentation. This is just to depict the difference between the traditional review as well as the thematic review. The thematic review. What we did earlier is a chronological order presentation. The studies based on the chronological order or the order of occurrence. We presented that. So and so in the year 2025 studied this. Then the studies in 24, then the studies in 23. In that way, you have presented the entire literature previously. But that kind of a presentation has no value at all. What is supposed to present us? If it is a chronological presentation, we will say that telephone is something like that. During 1900s, but in 2024, telephone is like a mini computer. That way only we will present, no? But if you are supposed to present it thematically, the telephone, that is the theme, the mobile phone, that is the theme. That you have to split into different sub-themes. The keypad and the development happened in the keypad with the help of different literature, in the screen, in the camera, in the resolution part, in the memory. So all those aspects we are supposed to present. In that way, we are presenting the thematic literature review. So themes should be grouped. It can be grouped based on the nature of your study, the purpose of your study. It can be grouped based on theories. It can be grouped based on arguments or disagreements, or it can be grouped even based on the methodology used to study that. Make sure that you understand your sources first. That is why Father just now displayed that when you download the data set, better to concentrate for writing the thesis, better to concentrate on the open sources, because you can directly access that kind of documents just by clicking on that node itself. It will direct you to the original paper, and you will be able to read that paper and understand your sources. Do not use the sources if you do not fully understand them. But when we traditionally present the data chronologically, what we have used there, even without referring the original sources, some researchers, they used to write the literature just by copying the literature review chapter of some other thesis, In that way only they have prepared the literature reviews. But that is not the exact way. Literature review is the first research process. The first day itself, I have mentioned that. It is the first research process. So you have to understand your sources clearly. And based on the sources, based on the papers you have identified, you need to map different concepts or different themes and sub-themes. So how we were actually doing this kind of a thing at the time when this kind of softwares were not available with us. We actually did the same with the help of 5 or 10 primary articles. We just identify the key articles. How we can identify the key articles now? It is also possible with the help of bibliometric analysis, because the highly cited articles, the authors who have produced the more number of articles in that area, all those can be identified with the help of this bibliometric analysis. So after doing this bibliometric analysis, you can confidently mention that, see, these are the prominent authors in my research field. But nowadays, unfortunately, even at the time of presentation of the doctoral thesis, when we asked to the researchers to mention some of the prominent authors in your research area, they couldn't be able to mention that, because you are not exploring in depth your literature. That is why. So you identify your major authors, you identify the master papers, and read all those papers and understand those papers. After identifying the major papers, that is what actually Father mentioned again in the last area. Just check the major paper, go to its reference and mark it into the library and keep it as your reference. Go through the entire papers, then you will be able to confidently present your themes. No, so it will help you to map your concepts. So what we were doing actually is just identifying 5 major papers, and with the help of 5 major papers, we will identify the themes. That was done with the help of a worksheet. See, the way in which we did earlier was just by reading the first article, that is source. Source is the first article. Just by reading the first article in the paper, I will prepare a table like this. The first article is about digital finance. So that is the first theme, digital finance. That is the first theme. Then when I read the second article related with that itself, I found that the digital finance as a theme is not directly mentioned in that article, but some other 2 related themes were mentioned in that. So I have identified 2 more themes. Theme B and theme C was there. Then when I read the third article, I found that the first theme and the second theme was mentioned in the third article. Then when I explore the fourth article mentioned both A, B, and C there. So in that way, just by reading 5 or 6 articles, I can find out 4, 5, or 6 themes. Then after preparing this worksheet earlier, what we were doing is just reversed it. So the next slide is showing that. So theme A, that is in article number 1, article number 3, and article number 4. Just by copying it, regarding the first theme, if I want to write something about digital finance, the digital finance is mentioned in first article, in the third article, and in the fourth article. I will open 3 windows in my screen, and a Word file is also a Word file will also open there, and just copy from theme regarding digital finance from first article, digital finance from the third article, digital finance from the fourth article, and I will input the citations with the help of the Mendeley also. And after that, just paraphrase. Then you will get the thematic presentation of the first theme. In that way, you are supposed to present your thematic literature review. This is thematic literature review. Themes and its organization based on your related literature. Okay, clear? Then, so thematic literature review. Actually, this is a simple shortcut. You have to be very open to your themes. Then find out the articles related to that themes. I just told about or mentioned about manually, a manual way of doing that, but you can identify it with the help of WhoisViewer, etc. And just copy paste from each article into the Word file. Again, reread your key papers and consider your topic from multiple angles. That is for what? For segregating it into sub-themes and all. Then do the referencing with the help of APA format. Finally, just do the paraphrasing and quote wherever necessary. Then your thematic review will be ready. No? So the copy pasting is actually not the right way, but I'm just telling it to you just to help you actually. It will be very difficult for you to read all papers, comprehend the same, and writing it your own. But instead, you can do this and again go and reread, do the paraphrasing, again read and prepare yourself. Then your thematic review will be ready. This is thematic review. And the second one is actually methodological review. What exactly is methodological review? Thematic review is mentioning about the theoretical development of the concept. The methodological review will, in another dimension, presenting about what all methodologies are being used to study these concepts, these themes. So that review will help you to identify the constructs used, identify the tools used, identify the models used for analysis. Everything will be there. And ultimately, that will help you to develop your own conceptual framework after the review. So traditionally, there was a belief that the thesis should comprise of more than 350 pages, and it should have chapters like introduction, then review of literature, then theoretical overview, then after that the methodology or the research design, then after that the data collection, data processing, data analysis, interpretations, findings, suggestions, recommendations. Oh, very big thing. No, thesis is actually a very big thing. No, we have just now submitted 2 theses. One comprises of only 145 pages. And actually the chapter structure is an introduction chapter, just 10 to 12 pages, in which a summarized view of the entire aspects is mentioned in the first chapter. After that, a 60 or 50 to 60 page review chapter. That 50 to 60 page review chapter divided into the thematic review, the methodological review, and the bibliometric analysis part. So that ends with the conceptual framework structure of the study. Then proceed directly into data collection and analysis, because the thematic review is actually serving the purpose of theoretical overview, and the methodological review will serving the purpose of the research design or the methodology, and the entire conceptual structure being developed, the exact gap is being identified with the help of the bibliometric analysis, and finally we are just presenting our analysis. Because thesis is your work, no? In your work, there we need not mention the theory and all like a textbook. You have to do your work. The literature review is your research. The data collection and analysis is your work, and you are coming out with your findings, suggestions, and recommendations. So it is my humble request to do in that way only. I would like to show you how you can present it, but at the end I will show that. Before that, I am proceeding into the last area also, how to write a review article using systematic review of literature or SLR. Okay, next. So why we are using SLR? We have already mentioned that. With the help of systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis, it will be very easy for you to map the existing literature in that particular area. And here we are using rigorous scientific technology for analyzing the literature from the database itself. And it enables us to do this process very quickly. And there is a scope for publishing the same. And there is a scope for getting high citations also. This thing I have mentioned in the first day itself. So, and we have already mentioned that the fundamental aspect of SLR is to start with a specific research question. So we have a specific research question. Based on that research question, we have developed our own or identified our own keywords and extracted the data from either Scopus or Web of Science. And we have studied how to merge that data set. how to do the analysis with the help of RStudio, how to do the visualization with the help of VoiceViewer. Everything is at your fingertips now. Now we are going to present it as an article. So the article, normally the paper format, it comprises of, it depends upon the journal requirements and all, but a standard format which comprises of 5 to 6 sections like this. Abstract should be there, an introduction should be there, the methodology part should be there, results and discussions or interpretations should be there, conclusions, implications or future agenda, then finally the limitations. These are the different parts of a paper format. We are proceeding to each and every part now. First thing is the abstract. It is advisable to write the abstract only at the end of finalizing your research paper. But I am just to get an idea about all those things, I am just mentioning it. Abstract is actually a structured summary of the entire paper, the aim, the method used, the key themes, the findings, discussions, implications, and all. So how we will be able to write the abstract? See, the abstract should have a background information, aim of the paper, the methods used in that paper, major results obtained from your analysis, importance and implications. This 5 parts should be there in your abstract. But you know, friends, most of the standard journals, they actually provide us an opportunity to present the abstract within 250 to 300 words only. So you are supposed to write all these 5 aspects in 250 to 300 pages. I will show one of our most relevant article, the most recent article published in last month only in Sustainability Journal. This is our article. So see, just zoom it, see the abstract. If you just go through the abstract, you will find that the first sentence is set as a background. The second sentence displays the aim of the paper. The third and fourth sentence is regarding the method used. The third sentence is regarding the overall methodology, and the fourth sentence is about the analysis. The fifth sentence is regarding our results. Again, the result is segregated into the major themes also. So the sixth is on the themes. And the importance and implications is the seventh and eighth sentence. Within 8th sentence, everything is presented in this abstract. Hope you understand how to present. So I will share the DOI of this article, and you just try to read this article and understand how to prepare an abstract based on this format. Going back to the presentation, the second part is actually the keywords. I have not mentioned that. You know that you have to mention your other keywords there. Okay, so this is all about abstract. Then next is the introduction. So the introduction of the article is actually mentioning about the existing knowledge on that particular topic area or the problem identified by you. After that, you have to point out the limitations of that existing knowledge. So what is the relevance of pointing out the limitations? When you point out the limitations, there lies the significance of this paper. So that exactly pointing out the gap, the knowledge gap. Then you have to place your research questions. Then you need to mention the brief structure of this paper. Going back to the article again, see, in this particular article, we just followed the same structure. That is why I'm mentioning the first paragraph and the first 3 paragraphs, because this is an article with respect to, we are just connecting the corporate social responsibility and the sustainability reporting aspects, the communications with respect to the corporate social responsibility as a whole. So the first 3 paragraphs is about the existing knowledge or background on this particular problem area. And in the fourth paragraph, actually, the limitations of the existing knowledge or the gap is presented. So in that way, we are presenting it. And in the fifth paragraph, actually, the research questions, small paragraphs only, the research questions. After that, in the last paragraph of the introduction, our paper is structured as follows. In the next section, we provide a bibliometric review of the research on CSR and sustainability, including disclosure associated with this critical strategic activity. We then described the systematic literature review research methodology, which utilize the bibliometric analysis. Following an overview of the results, the paper closes with a discussion on the CSR disclosure. See, the structure of the paper was also mentioned at the end of the introduction. This is the way in which you are supposed to write the introduction part. Okay, then regarding the third part, the third part is actually the methodology. Somebody, some of our participants last day asked about the Prisma framework. The Prisma framework is actually the preferred reporting items for systematic review and meta-analysis. This is the framework for presenting your methodology. That is why I told you last day, while downloading the data or extracting the data from Scopus or Web of Science, you are supposed to note down each and every step specifically, because you are supposed to present the entire aspect as part of your methodology. Actually, the methodology for traditional review paper is the Prisma itself. Now, nowadays, actually, just by doing a bibliometric analysis, we were not able to publish a paper. In 2021, we published a paper. I will just show you that paper now. In 2021, at that year only, we started taking classes on systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis. This is a bibliometric analysis about women in fisheries sector. So see, the abstract is very short, but that abstract, even at that point of time, comprises of all these aspects. But this particular paper was prepared only with the help of the bibliometric analysis result. See, you can see that the questions are there and the methodology is described here. And after that, the entire process of downloading. See, here you can see that how the keywords have been used and what all Boolean operators were used there, and how much papers being downloaded, then the filtering options and the results, everything was there. That is the methodology. After that, just the results, the key information. And see, the interpretation is much less. Annual scientific production graph, then average citation, then so all the results were displayed there with small interpretations. Even then, we got an opportunity to publish this paper in a Scopus journal at that point of time in 2021. But in 2025, it was so difficult. The paper just now I displayed before you is the one which is published in Sustainability, a Q1 journal. But you know, the strain behind preparing that paper, actually it took 9 months. 3 journals rejected the paper. But fortunately, we have got a review from the last 2 journals. And based on that review, we have reworked the paper and uploaded. And within 2-3 months period, we got acceptance from a Q1 journal. That is what happened to a paper nowadays. So here, at the time of mentioning the methodology, you are not supposed to present the bibliometric analysis only. So we have to incorporate the systematic literature review aspect also. So here, in this particular article, the thematic review area, the key or major themes and the sub-themes, and how the themes have been evolved over a period of time with the help of the time slice based analysis, everything was mentioned in a thematic way also. That is what we did in this particular article. So here, what is expected from you? The methodology is actually the Prisma. You have to mention the database. You have to mention the search strategy, then the step-by-step process. Finally, the data set, the journal sources, the Prisma flow diagram. Here also you can see the Prisma flow diagram. This is the main information. See, this is the Prisma flow diagram. This flow diagram is mentioning that in the top, in the yellow portion, it was mentioned that we use the Web of Science and Scopus databases, and we use the search string with keywords like this, and we used the Boolean operators like this, and we have searched and we got this much information. Because here you have two columns. One is for representing the Web of Science, one is for representing the Scopus, for identification of data and for screening the data. After merging, how much is the result? Then after checking the entire data set and only the final documents have been compiled and used for analysis, and how many documents have been used for the final analysis. These all things are actually reported in the methodology part. Okay, so that is regarding the methodology part. Then the next area should be the result section. So see, in the result section, actually we are presenting the key information. There you can see the overview, and here you are supposed to present only the required analysis. You are not supposed to present all the available analysis from RStudio or ViewerBoss. You have to identify the key analysis which is essential for doing that your particular paper, and based on the previous papers and previous experience only, and identify those areas. Just go up, then you can see that the strategic mapping concepts are here. So here you can see that what are the motor themes, what are the basic themes, niche themes, emerging or declining themes. In that way, the themes have been identified into 4 quadrants, and based on that, we have to explain the thematic results. So this kind of an interpretation, for writing this interpretation, actually you have to go through the major papers. Then only you can identify that what is the relevance of a theme, how that theme has been evolved. Then you go back to your viewer and identify what are the sub-themes associated with that theme, and what kind of an exploration has been happened in that. In that way, you are supposed to write the thematic analysis. The thematic analysis results are there. Here we have detailed, we detailed the entire analysis. The sub-analysis, everything was there, because that theme-based analysis is the core of this paper. That is the SLR type of analysis. Then the first quadrant, the second quadrant, in each quadrant we have identified the sub-theme areas. That kind of an analysis was presented there. Then the time slice based analysis, how this themes has been evolved over a period of time. That time period based evaluation is again connected with the related theories also, theories of CSR. That is already been connected with the time slice based analysis. Go up, then you can see that each analysis is again displayed there. So this is the core area of this, and then we are proceeding to the discussion. What is the discussion? You may have identified some research questions in your research paper at the initial time itself. So you have a specific question at the time of starting data exploration, that may be how CSR communication evolved and changed over a period of time. That was the only question. But at the time of doing your analysis, you may have some sub-research questions. That questions were mentioned in this paper. And all those questions need to be addressed at the time of discussion. So you have to write each and every question, and the results obtained need to be discussed in connection with the existing literature. In connection with the existing literature. That is what is supposed to write by the researcher. See, at the time of that table, at the time of writing this, we just identified different clusters, and different clusters actually related with the evolution period also. And you know that the CSR, based on the internal stakeholders orientation and external stakeholders orientation, how this has been evolved over a period of time, how this has been placed in different clusters. This kind of some sort of analysis and contribution should come from our part also, not only from the bibliometric analysis results. We have to evolve this kind of results also. And after the result section, in the result also, you are supposed to present the overview, required analysis, etc. Then you have to proceed to the discussion part. After that, you should write your conclusion. It is a summary of the entire work, starting from your question, the data set you have used, the methodology you have used, the major findings, the major contributions, everything you have to present here. And even after that, the implications, the future agenda, everything should be. Some journals may ask for a separate section on future agenda and implications, but here we just mentioned it at the end of the conclusion part itself. And of course, we need to write a part called limitations also. After that, you are supposed to present the entire references also. This is the way in which you are supposed to write the entire thing in a research article. I will share the DOI numbers of different articles, and those who are interested in writing some research article in the interested areas, and those who are interested in collaborating with us also, especially in the area of finance, in the area of sustainable development and rural development, local economic development, sustainability development goals and its localization. These are the areas I am concentrating on. So you can reach out to me for help also. Okay. So that's all about this, and just show that literature review chapter. Time is already closed. See, this is the literature review chapter of a recent thesis. Just scroll down. No, this it is from the beginning. You scroll down to chapter number 2. Chapter number 2. Go up. So, see, in this thesis, actually, we have divided the entire literature review into different sections. See, you can see that the chapter title itself is not literature review. Perspectives on fraud, because this is a work regarding forensic accounting. So, perspectives on fraud, theoretical and analytical frameworks. We are just developing the theoretical overview as well as the analytical framework. For developing the theoretical overview, thematic review. For developing the analytical framework, methodological review. And finally, we are just giving the gap based on the bibliometric analysis. So this is what we have done here. You can see that the chapter outline is there. This each section, what is depicting there. So section 1, the crime as a theory is mentioned here. just writing as theory, then you just give citations for each and every authors. In that way, you are supposed to present your thematic overview. Okay, so just try to go through this kind of enough number of theses nowadays prepared by scholars. They are just writing the literature review in this format only. I'm advising you to prepare your thesis in this format only. No, so by this I'm closing the presentation, and we will spend 5 minutes time because I need to travel back to my hometown. I am just staying back in Trivandrum itself without going back home. Even today is a second Saturday for you people. So we will spend 5 more minutes for discussions.
So just one doubt. First thing, yesterday you suggested about the flow diagram, right? So the flow diagram is it suggested to give the methodology in the flow diagram or just give it in the text? Second, just to add to that, today you showed the bibliometric results. There were around 3,000 results, right? So for the thematic review, did you depend on the 3,000 results, or did you further limit it to some 100 or 200 more important papers using some thumb rule or some subjective criteria?
Yeah, regarding your first question, flow diagram. The flow diagram is actually the Prisma flow diagram. I told you that this is a structure, a methodological structure we actually use for presenting the entire thing. That will give some idea at a quick glance itself. That is why it is advisable. You can even write it as a paragraph also, but better to give a flow diagram, not only based on the Prisma. Actually, nowadays, several other frameworks are also available. I'm not mentioning all those frameworks. Several other frameworks are also available. So better to give any of such accepted framework as a flow diagram. And the second one, what you said is exactly correct, because for the bibliometric analysis, we are using the entire data set. But at the time of writing the thematic review, only the most cited papers will identified, and that too the open source documents will be identified. Based on that only we wrote the thematic review. That is the way.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
I know I am interrupting, but a request to all the participants, please bear till the end, because after the question and answer session, there will be some announcements. So, yeah, proceed.
Sir, may I ask one question?
Yes, Janvi.
Yeah,
Proceed.
my question is like I have already written 2 of the bibliometric papers using R Studio,
Yeah.
but journals are not accepting, like if they're non-paid, so they are not accepting those because either this methodology is becoming like old, or what can we add to make it accepted in the journals? Like, because like many of the journals are accepting when we are paying the APCs, right? So if we are not paying the APCs, so they are just outrightly rejecting the papers based on that this is not adding new to their knowledge.
Don't worry, Janvi. Today morning also I got 2 rejections. No, that is quite natural. And I told you the paper I just now displayed. We have got 2 rejections from top journals. After that, fortunately, we have got in the last 2 rejections, we have got some reviews also. So that enabled us to revise. So just by simply doing some bibliometric analysis, nowadays the journals won't accept. So you have to point out the justification for acceptance of this. Just by adding some new concepts, adding some new insights based on your systematic literature review. So do some systematic literature review based on the key papers of your area. So we will even discuss, you just contact, we will discuss about those kind of aspects, and we'll do whatever we can do. No, okay.
Right. Thank you. One
Yeah.
more question is there, sir.
Yeah.
Like if we talk about the literature review part, we have already conducted the literature review part of our thing using the traditional methods,
Yeah.
right? Now I have all the like references, all the papers that I have studied into my Zotero. So can I use it into the WOSphere to show some insights into the literature review part?
From
Because
from Zotero, you have to you need to try to download it in plain text format.
okay,
When you download it, the problem with the data set when we download it from reference managers, some of the documents may not have the complete citation details.
yeah, actually this is the problem. When I'm going to WOSphere, only some of the things are made, like only some of the graphs are being made through that.
Yeah, that is
Is
the
there
issue
any
because
solution for that, or I have to go like this only?
so that is why we just displayed the major data sets. One doubt may come into your mind that we have downloaded from Scopus in BibTeX format, from Web of Science in plain text format. Again, we converted both these data sets into XLSX format.
Yeah.
There was an option to download directly in XLSX format, but we never insisted that. Why? Have you think about that? Actually, when we download it in BibTeX format and plain text format, the standard repositories will give the entire details in a structured manner. If we convert into XLSX format, that will, for that data set, it will be very easy to perform the data analysis. But if we download it in XLSX format from Scopus and XLSX format from Web of Science, the columns may differ. So when we merge, some kind of errors may creep in. That is why we never insist that. But in your case, you may sometimes download data from Google Scholar. You may sometimes downloaded some data sets from other sources, and in Zotero, everything is there. But when we try to capture it into a file, the data set may not have complete information. If it lacks complete information, the analysis will be a little bit difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, is it necessary to use the Prisma framework, to report a systematic literature review? Is it mandatory to do that?
That is what I told for the first question, Jibin. It is not mandatory, but you should have a framework for reporting in a systematic literature review. That framework may be this Prisma framework or SPAR for SLR format or Salsa format. Different formats, reporting formats are available. Any of the format you are supposed to follow. And you don't want to display it as a flow chart or diagram, but you are supposed to write entire thing, because then only the replicability quality of the scientific review process will be present in your paper. That is why we are insisting on a format. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, only a small question. I just wanted to know, once we have done with the SLR, and there is one more mechanism or procedure, we can say, in which we filter out the papers on the basis of title, abstract, keywords, and we also go through the full paper and then filter out that these papers, though we have downloaded with the same keywords, but not relevant for our studies.
That may happen, but it is not wise to use the full paper based screening.
Okay.
Because in the full paper, such kind of words may be used not in the context in which you are using that keyword. No, that is why we are insisting to use the title, keyword, and abstract. If your keyword appear in the title, keyword, or abstract, then only we will use it. Even after that, actually, there is a screening process. For that screening process, actually, some softwares are available nowadays for reading the abstracts. You are supposed to read all the abstracts, no? but that is a difficult task. So first you have to go through each and every abstract and see whether that particular study is relevant for you or not. If it is not relevant, exclude it. That kind of a refinement is again needed. So that is what is called data processing. Here also we need to do that. I was not mentioned it, but in the offline workshops, we will do it with the help of some worksheets, manually, how to do the screening and all. So such kind of screening is needed actually.
Okay, sir. And that will be at the stage when we have downloaded the data from the Scopus after that only, right?
Yeah. After downloading the data set, you are supposed to read each and every abstract and select those are relevant for your study only. Then use that data set for further analysis.
And sir, what will be the sequence, like first title, then abstract? Or first abstract, then title?
You just read the abstract only. No?
Okay, sir.
Abstract is the most important. You just go and search about abstract readers. The free abstract readers are available, but they will
Okay,
provide
sir.
support only for reading 25 to 30 abstracts. After that, you are supposed to pay some amount. That is
Okay,
it.
sir. Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir, what about tools like Consensus AI? Means, can we use that for this literature review?
Enough number of AI-based softwares are now available. AI will do the entire thing for you, but you have to ensure the genuinity of the sources and all. Even without downloading data set from Scopus, you just ask to the AI to use these keywords, download the data set and do the analysis, they will do. But when you go and check the DOI and all, such papers may not be there, no? So such kind of dangers will be there. That is why I am not insisting upon AI.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Better to use AI just to study the patterns, the way in which we can interpret and all. After that, you just do it by yourself. Yeah, thank you very much. Shall we close? I will share the details. Myself and my scholars are there in your WhatsApp group. You can reach out to us through the WhatsApp group itself. That may be the nice way, because the organizers will also get an idea. At this juncture, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers, especially the team. SB College Changanasheri, for organizing this kind of a wonderful program, and actually nice participation from all the states in India as well as from Dubai. I wish all success in doing systematic literature review for your thesis, for writing review articles. There are plenty of scope for writing review articles, but some tactics is there. Just by doing this bibliometric analysis, we would not be able to publish more. So we have to add more things into the review papers. That is what is needed nowadays. So actually, for doing the review paper, we need a team of 4 to 5 people, because for doing the data extraction and analysis, some experts are there. For preparing the references and all, for identification of journal and formatting the aspects with respect to the journal, for doing the editing. So we are working in groups, 3-4 people at a time in every group. So we can work in that respect also. And I would like to thank all my scholars. Actually, we used to go for offline workshops as a team, and the entire team will interact with the participants, and they will help you people to do this by hands-on. That is the way in which we organize offline workshops. as this is an online workshop, we have our own limitations to do all these things. All these 3 days, my scholars are with me in this hall itself. So I personally thank Ammu Suresh, Ammu Krishna, Veena, Gina, Father Sanu, and all the scholars for doing this for you. So thank you very much. Thank you one and all. Over to the organizers.
So, thank you everyone who participated with such thoughtful questions, and once again, sincere thanks to Dr. Bijuti for patiently answering and guiding us with such clarity. So, a few things before moving on to the vote of thanks. So, the certificates of this webinar would be sent to the participants' mail shortly after the session. And coming to the big announcement, what we had today was the second of the online workshop series. So, on 24th and 25th of the same month, we will be hosting the third of the workshop series on the topic AI tools for academic research, where the resource person would be Mr. J. Smithin. Being the UGC librarian of St. Stephen's College, he's a veteran in application of AI facilities in the research process. So we hope to see you there. So as we bring the session to a close, it's time to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to making this event a success. It gives me great pleasure to invite Dr. Ranjit Jose, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, St. Berchmans College, and the coordinator of this workshop, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Amos. Respected resource person, Dr. Bijuti, and dear participants, as we draw the curtain on the 3-day National Online Workshop on Systematic Literature Review and Bibliometric Analysis, it's my honor to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Research and Postgraduate Department of Commerce, St. Berchmans College. First and foremost, we express our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Bijuti, Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, School of Business Management and Legal Studies, University of Kerala. Sir, your rich academic and administrative experience has been evident in the depth, clarity, and practical relevance of your sessions. Through your systematic approach, you guided us with clarity on the foundations of systematic literature review, bibliometric analysis, and hands-on application of RStudio and Ghost Viewer. Your sessions were not only academically rigorous, but also highly practical and engaging, empowering participants to take their research to the next level. We also extend our sincere thanks to the dedicated research scholars of Biju Sir, Ammu Suresh, Ammu Krishna, Father Sanu Francis, Veena, Gina, for their valuable technical support and assistance during the sessions. Your contributions ensured the smooth execution of the workshop at every stage. A special word of appreciation to our ever reliable student volunteers, Amos, Jeswin, Ivan, and Alan, for their immense support and behind the scene efforts in coordinating the event. I would also like to place on record our gratitude to our head of the department, Dr. Sebastian Case, and to all the faculty members of the Department of Commerce for standing firmly with us throughout the planning and execution. Last but certainly not least, heartfelt thanks to all the participants for your enthusiasm, commitment, and active engagement over the 3 days. Thank you once again, and we look forward to many more such collaborative learning experiences in the future. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you very much. Bye, good night, all of you.